Well, my mother had a heart attack. We tested to check if it was something in the family. The biggest challenge to start is realization. And the track to realization can be long, for some maybe too long. I will come back to that later. I have several times said that my journey to a better health has been going on for 10 years now. Well, that is in some way correct, as it's now 10 years since I decided to do some changes. But I think it's correct to say that the story started some years earlier. What do I mean? Well, let's talk about realization, as I have mentioned several times now today. We used some time on this in some of the first videos on the channel, so go back and you can find some interesting there. Anyhow, some years before I started this project, well, my mother had a heart attack, a quite hard one, and connected to that, me and my sister was asked if we wanted to be tested to check if it was something in the family, so that we could be prepared. And we said yes, mostly to calm down our mother. And when my mother saw the result of my test, I think she was quite close to a new heart attack. So it started a process, new tests on the hospital, and the doctors was pretty clear that I should do changes in the lifestyle and with my food and training, reduce my weight and all this. And the thing is that I didn't change anything at all. I continued as before and gained even more weight after this. I can remember this doctor that told me that he was pretty sure that if I didn't change my lifestyle, he could guarantee me that I would get diabetes within 3 years. But even so, I didn't change anything. I actually didn't change anything. Even if my blood pressure was starting to get high, I didn't do anything to change my lifestyle. In the next years, I didn't check my blood pressure regularly, as I was told to. I was suffering with migraine, and later on I has been thinking that there was some more signals from the body that things was not okay. So after a period with a lot of stress on work and in life, I had to go to the doctor again, and the blood pressure was really high. And here is the crazy thing. Even after this, I didn't change anything. Just more medicine, even if the message from the doctor was pretty clear. I think it was around 1.5 years after this, I really started to feel not good. And one day I actually had to ask my wife to drive me to the doctor. I had called and was told to come directly there. The thing now was that I had been bleeding from the nose a lot for a little more than a week, maybe 2. And the migraine was totally out of control. And the moment I called the doctor, my mind was starting to be messed up, I felt like, and I was afraid that there was something seriously wrong with my brain. My blood pressure was at this point sky high. I don't remember the number, but it was high. It was so high that the main concern wasn't my heart anymore, but there was a big possibility for a brain hemorrhage. Hope I got that correct. They wanted to send me to the hospital, but for some reason I didn't want to go. And I got some medicine, more medicine, new medicine, and within 24 hours they got the blood pressure so much down that it was no acute danger anymore. And here's the most stupid thing with this story, I think. Even now, even after all this, I didn't realize how serious this was. I could actually die, but I didn't change a thing. And I think this is important. At this point, I was starting to do some reflection. about my life and lifestyle. I didn't do any changes, but I was starting to think about the situation. Somewhere in the story, the next 12 months, a near relative of mine had a brain hemorrhage. It went in many ways well with him at this point, but he didn't recover the capacity that he has before. The important thing here for my story is that he had much of the same health issue as I had, and he, just as me, didn't do much to change his lifestyle. So, in the spring 2016, I was working with changing from winter to summer tire on our cars. Yes, we have to do this around here. And I had to get down on my knees, even to pick up tools. If I tried to bend over to do something, I just had to hold my breath. I just couldn't breathe. And I remember I thought, what in heaven's name are you doing to yourself? You have always thought you should be an old man, like a grandfather, but continue like this and you probably should be happy to reach 50. This was what I was thinking at that point. So when the job was done, I went inside and I stepped up on a weight and it showed 129.7. And this was the exact point where I realized that. And this was the exact point for realization for me. May the 8th, 2016. I understood that if I should be able to reach a high age, I had to do something. And the first thing I did was not the smartest you could think, but the first thing I did was writing on Facebook. Freely translated, I wrote, well, I have now managed to get this beautiful body up to the weight close to 130 kilo. It's more than enough now. I had a goal to reach the age of 60, 70 years, even many more years than that. But shall I reach that goal, I think I have to do some adjustment of my way of living. I wrote. I did get some response at this, some jokes, and some shocked that I was so heavy. And my mother was quite worried again. But there was one special comment that actually was the start of my journey. A friend of mine sent me a private message on Facebook. He told me he has started a weight loss and change of lifestyle program on the local training center. And when he saw my status on Facebook, he thought that it might be a good idea for me to join. And so I did. And this was the beginning of my journey leading up to be able to complete the ultra marathon. The training and the rest of the project is in many ways described in the videos on the channel, but as I have said in the video of the Transgran Canaria, I will share the story with its ups and downs with my own face and my own voice in a series of videos on the channel, and I will try to take you step by step with me on the story up till today. A summary of this video: my relative that got this brain hemorrhage and was a big part of my realization isn't with us anymore. His heart just gave up, I think, and one morning he didn't wake up. My mother is still alive. She's living with her second pacemaker, I think. But from the situation, I think she is doing quite well. I told her story in an earlier video about her journey to a better health. So it works. And for me, it's a quite big mystery why realization shall be so hard. My only explanation is the human mindset. And my best description of this is what I call the logic of an alcoholic. Maybe I get some reaction on this, but we make excuses for ourselves, explanation for ourselves, and the only ones that believe them is ourselves. And before we realize that this is going to hell and decide that this is something that we want to or have to change, it doesn't matter how many doctors or others that tries to tell us something. We always have a good answer that explain that it's not dangerous. I will start, but not now. I just have to do something. I have to wait to, but I will. Unlike me, you push the point of realization and push the point to start. Many times I hear, and I was no exception, I'm doing a lot, but my body is against me. Or medicine make it harder to reduce my weight. I was going on a lot of medicine and was one of my explanation, and it might not be completely incorrect, but even so, if your weight don't go down, it just means that you have to try harder, or maybe just as important, do something different. Look around on the channel to see if you find videos that can help you to find the real explanation, and maybe some good tips on what to do different. So the message from this video is: first step, realization, and after that, the real job is starting. Please like and subscribe, comment, give me feedback, ask questions, so we can get a discussion out of this. See you!